must be the greatest. I told the world, I thought the God ever gave. The best ever.
Welcome to the DL Boxing Podcast. I am your host, Coach D, along with co-host Bad Chaz and neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, where we talk about the sport you and I love, boxing. All right, guys. Well, welcome to episode 27. How you guys doing today, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
Doing excellent, man.
Excellent, man. Well, you had a big weekend, Bad Chaz.
Oh, yeah.
You were part of the Cutman training seminar in San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd that go, Brad?
Oh, you know what? It was actually really great, man. The House of Boxing in Chula Vista down by San Diego put it on. Cutman won. We had him on one of our early episodes, if any of your fans are wondering. And he kind of put together this great little training experience, you know, and just full of great people in the House of Boxing. And, you know, shout out to them, Carlos, Juan. They just put on an excellent show, training and great knowledge and a great experience, man.
Yeah, that's amazing, Bad Chaz. From what I heard, they taught you how to wrap hands and kind of get the experience of being a corner man, right?
Yeah,
working
correct,
in the corner.
yeah.
How was those experiences, man?
Oh, you know what? They were great, man. It was actually nice to be able to kind of do the training because they had some people from the athletic commission there, you know, like referees, inspectors and stuff to kind of oversee it. So you kind of got to do the training while having them on site, you know, so you kind of know exactly what is required, you know what I mean, for these fights, you know, and it's nice to have somebody from the athletic commission from the state of California because they pretty much have the gold standard for that stuff. So if you kind of play by their rules, you can basically get by anywhere. And I mean, they like I said, they put on a great course.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Chaz.
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
happy that you got to experience that and you came away, you know, with that knowledge and just you know, had a good time over there, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fantastic. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get our episode underway.
Sure.
It's fight recap time. All right, guys, let's recap the fights that happened last weekend. The first fight actually happened on a Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And that was the return of John Scrappy Ramirez. He earned a 10-round unanimous decision over Luis Padilla. Well, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, we got Scrappy back in the ring. How'd you see him in that fight?
You know what? I'll let Bad Chaz start because he actually went to the fight.
That's
so
right.
I kind of want to hear from you first, man.
Yeah, Bad Chaz, you were in attendance in Indio, California. How did you see that fight live, man?
Oh, you know what? It was great. It was a really nice venue. Anybody that's ever kind of wondering, it's not too big. You're kind of just right there around the ring. And yeah, I recommend anybody to go check out those Thursday night fights that Golden Boy's putting on because they're excellent. As far as the fight went, you know, it was Scrappy's first 10-round fight. From what I seen, man, it looked good. Scrappy came out, and I could just hear him already kind of doing the right breathing techniques, and he was kind of just, you know, controlling the fight. I actually came home and watched it, you know, because I wanted to see some different angles, and I mean, he kind of did what he wanted in there. It seemed like, you know, he was kind of trying to make some adjustments as it went on, whether, you know, he wanted to keep his hands up or bring them down. So I think he's just kind of trying to, you know, find out his style, you know what I mean, for these 10-round professional fights. And I can't wait to see his next bout.
Yeah, no, well said. And it's only his 11th bout. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, how did he look to you?
You know what? Again, man, I thought he dominated that fight, man. And I want to say in the first, maybe it was the second or third round, I felt like he hurt his opponent. I felt like he could have took him out right then and there. But, man, he was having so much fun in that ring, dude. And he had a long layoff. So he wanted to, like, you know, take that fight further than what it should have been. And you know what? Towards the, you know, the later parts of the rounds, I felt like he kind of, like, let off that gas. But at the same time, dude, I felt like he could turn on that gas whenever he wanted. But I wish he would have got the guy out of there. I wish he would have got him out like maybe 8 or 9 rounds. But I thought he looked good. I thought he looked impressive. He dominated that fight, like I said. And yeah, I want to see him fight again, man, soon.
Yeah, you're right. He did what he wanted in there. I think, like you said, the long layoff, I think this was the best scenario for him, going 10 rounds, you know, shaking off that rust and, you know, getting those rounds under his belt because I believe he needs to as many fights as he possibly can right now. You know, he's in the learning stages in his career. As we know, we had him on our show and, you know, he started boxing at the age of 20, which is late in the game. Right. But he's so athletic and it seems like he's really taking on that role of a boxer, you know, working out, you know, hard and you know, learning from from all those people that he surrounds himself with. So great win for Scrappy. I just hope he takes his time with this. Gets another at least 5 or so fights, 5 to 10 fights, in my opinion, before he challenges for a title. I mean, I know he's already talking about going for the WBA eliminator, which is cool, man. I mean, we know that as fighters, you believe that you could take on the world, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, that's what I would like, but we'll see. Entertaining fighter, and we wish him the best. So congratulations, Scrappy Ramirez, on your victory.
Congrats, man.
All right, guys, moving on to the main event on the Showtime card. We had Subriel Matias earning a TKO in round number 5 over Jeremias Ponce. Jeremias was undefeated coming into the fight. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. This was a little barn burner that we watched, right?
Yeah, man. I think Ponce started out way too fast, man. He looked excellent that first round. But I mean, after the first round, it was just more of an even fight. And he gassed himself out, man. Yeah. And you know what? I felt like his legs were gone in the 3rd or 4th round. But again, that's just my opinion. But I felt like he punched himself out way too soon.
Yeah. He came out hard. And I was like, oh, my goodness. This guy was 30-0, 20 knockouts, right? Undefeated from Argentina. Fast. Like you said, he came out fast, throwing shots from every angle, hitting Matias. And to Matias' credit, Bad Chaz, he took that onslaught and then fired back. And we're talking about Matias, who came into the fight 18-1, all 18 wins by knockout. So he had that power punch, man. How did he figure out Ponce in the end there and just overcame that?
Oh, you know what? Just patience. You know what I mean? He knew not to kind of exhaust himself in the first round. I think the Ponce, he threw what was it, 100 punches in the first round?
Yeah, just crazy amount
versus his opponent. He threw like 30 something punches. Right. And so I mean he just kind of stayed reserved and kept the gas in the tank. You know what I mean? And then it showed. As the fight progressed, and then he just slowly broke down Ponce and. You know what? Great fight. It was entertaining.
It was.
But you know what? Ponce, you did a great job.
Yeah. Ponce did a great job for what he could. His corner saves him. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. I think the corner, we know, the corner knows the fighter, most. And they decided to stop the fight. Maybe to have him fight another day. Obviously. Do you think that was the proper decision? Like you said, his legs were gone.
Yeah. Right? You know what? I didn't see him doing anything but getting knocked out. Maybe. I mean, if not that following round, then. Somewhere in that fight, and you're right. You want to save your fighter, and you want to get him to maybe at another title shot again. But he was done, man.
Yeah. I think the corner made the right call.
Yeah, I agree, Bad Chaz. So congratulations to the new IBF Junior Welterweight Champion Subriel Matias. All right, guys. Well, let's cover the fights that happened on Sunday. The co-main event was Badou Jack, as he earned a impressive 12th round TKO over Ilunga Makabu, earning the WBC cruiserweight belt, guys. This was impressive. I'm very happy for Badou Jack. He's a road warrior, man. 39 years old, came in to fight the champion Makabu, took it to him and stopped him in the last round. Bad Chaz, what'd you think of the fight, man?
You know what? I didn't get to see the full fight. I was out of town, so I got to catch some highlights on it. But I seen Badou Jack knock him down a couple times.
Yeah, he did.
And you know what? He landed a couple clean right hands. You know what I mean? Kind of snuck it in there. He almost stepped off to his opponent's right, and he kind of snuck in his right hand. Yeah, made a beautiful angle with a punch that he didn't see coming, and ultimately was able to kind of outbox his opponent.
Right, yeah. And Badou Jack, like Bad Chaz mentioned, he used his boxing, man.
Yeah.
To perfection, man, to keep Makabu reaching and just, gave him the angles and never really let Makabu get set to throw his power shots.
Yeah.
Is that what you saw, Neighborhood Hero Ryan Rios?
No, I did see that. And going into the fight, I kind of thought, Badou Jack was just a journeyman, you know what I mean? And I thought,
he was on the decline.
Yeah, it was just, a name that Makabu was gonna face and just just put on a good show. But man, that wasn't the case, dude. Badou Jack went in there hungry. He went in there to fight. He looked like a different fighter to me.
He did, man.
And man, he performed well, and he also. Going out with Mike Tyson, man, you get that extra confidence, dude.
Yeah, that was awesome,
and that will, you know what I mean? But brilliant performance by Badou Jack, and we'll see what's next because, man, he looked excellent, man.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Congratulations to the new WBC Cruiserweight champion, Badou Jack the Ripper. All right, guys. Well, the main event that Sunday was Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. Tommy Fury scores a split decision, close win over Jake Paul, handing Jake Paul his first defeat in this 8-rounder. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what'd you think of the fight, man?
You know what? I was looking forward to this fight. And when the fight started, I didn't really know what to expect. But I felt like Tommy Fury in the first couple of rounds looked like that more polished fighter.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, this is going to be a kind of a long night for Jake Paul. But for some reason, I felt like Tommy Fury kept letting him back in the fight. And Jake Paul landed some like clean, hard shots and also established a very good jab. But again, Tommy Fury started again with that, you know, boxing ability, and Jake Paul was kind of stunned. And then again, Fury let him back in the fight. But what really caught my attention was Jake Paul dropped him in the last round.
Yeah.
And I figured, you know, it was a
jab, right? It was like a jab.
Yeah, it was a jab, but a good jab.
Into it, yeah.
And at that point, I kind of thought the fight was even, you know, and then with that knockdown, I figured, man, for sure, you know, Paul's going to get the win. But man, they gave it to Fury, and I was just like, wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So honestly, I thought it was either going to be a draw or I would have gave the fight to Paul just for the fact of that knockdown.
Yeah, and I say surprising because I initially thought, when I watched it, that Tommy had done enough to earn that close, you know, narrow decision. I just thought he looked the cleaner of the both fighters. You know, he had that experience, that Fury pedigree, if you will, coming into the fight. I mean, he had the most to lose, in my opinion. Fury, he had that pressure on his shoulders. Bad Chaz. Let's talk about that referee, man.
Oh man, I don't know where he was at or what fight he was refereeing.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because they clinched so much that I think they only fought 4 rounds, really.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the referee just took so long, like he couldn't take control of the bout, right? Tell us about that, man.
I don't know, man. Like you said, like they did so much holding, and you know, kind of going back, Fury, he did a great job at you kind of using his distance and his range. I felt like he kind of you know, managed to control that fight for the most part. And when Paul did kind of make his way in, you know, he didn't really invest in the body or throw any punches. He just kind of would clinch.
Good point.
And I mean, it seemed like the referee, you know, could have stepped in and maybe taken a point for, you know, the holding or something. But, you know, he didn't do that. And I think that, you know, if we had a different ref, we could have probably had a better fight that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Fury, you know, he looked like a little more polished in comparison to Paul. I feel like Paul, you know, he probably going to go back and probably knows what he needs to work on. And yeah, let's go from there.
Yeah, well said, Bad Chaz. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. Jake Paul losing, is that good for him or for the sport?
You know what? It's hard to say, but what I took away from that was that he was okay with that loss. And, you know, as much as he trains, as much as you want to win, like in my eyes, I would have been a poor sport. Not so much of not, you know, congratulating Fury, but I would have been pissed off at myself. I would have been like, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. I could have trained harder. And that's just me. You know, we're all our own worst critic. Yeah. But I felt like he took that loss really well, man. And it kind of surprised me because I think if I was in his shoes, man, I'd be hurting, man. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well said, man. Yeah, I think it's good for Jake Paul and, you know, everybody that watches his fights. You know, we kind of get the sense that, you know, he is a fighter now and, you know, that, you know, he will lose fights. You know what I'm saying? You know, if there was ever a suspicion of, are this fight's, you know, staged or not? Now we know. I mean, that they're not, you know, he's just a fighter that started fighting or boxing, you know, 3 or so years ago. And it showed. It showed in the ring, like we were talking earlier. Like it almost looked like it was his first fight, in my opinion, in some spots. But you know, I give credit to both of them, respect to both of them. They put it all on the line, and they gave a pretty good show. You know, barring that referee, it was a good show. So, but congratulations to Tommy Fury, remaining undefeated, 9-0, handing Jake Paul his first loss. Congrats, Tommy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's Fight Week. All right, guys. Well, I think we've been spoiled this year, man. This is already started the year, and we have another Fight of the Year type of fight coming up this weekend, guys, on Showtime, and that is Brandon Figueroa, 23-1-1 with 18 knockouts. He will take on Mark Magnifico Magsayo, 24-1, 16 KOs in a 12-round bout for the vacant WBC interim featherweight title, guys. Like I said, guys, this is an exciting fight that we're looking forward to watching, guys. This is Bad Chaz. What makes this fight intriguing, bro?
Oh, you know what, man? Looking at the numbers, they both possess power, and they both, you know, have been around for a while. I'm looking forward to this fight. I think this is a fight that the fans are winning on.
Oh yeah.
Trying to evaluate the fighters and kind of see, you know, who's going to have the edge on this fight, but. it's kind of hard to decide. Figueroa, he has the height and the reach over this guy, but watching Figueroa's fights, he doesn't really use his range like to his natural ability. He kind of likes to get on inside.
Right.
And his opponent Magsayo, you know what I mean? He mixes it up, man. He doesn't stay in one place, and he makes angles, and he knows how to work in the pocket doing it. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, well said, Bad Chaz. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what are some key things that each fighter can do to maybe increase their chance of winning, man?
Just stay busy, man, because both fighters, man, it's going to be a slugfest.
Right, it's almost like a clash of styles that,
But whoever's the most busy, dude, and the more accurate is going to come out on top. And I honestly, I know they have power, but I don't see a knockout, man.
Oh,
I see it going the distance, dude. And where's the fight at, by the way? Do you guys know?
I'm not sure, bro.
No?
I'm not sure. It's going to be in the phone booth, right? It's almost going to be that kind of style, right? Where they're just
because, honestly, that determines where, somebody might get the nod, you know what I mean? But both fighters are good. Both fighters are very entertaining, dude. And this is a must watch, man. Another good
Ontario,
fight.
California?
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well said, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. Two fighters, two contenders. Obviously, the winner is gonna, put their name in the hat for the champions right now. Which we have is Mauricio Lara. We have who do we have out there? Who's the other?
Venado.
And fighters like that. So this is a very exciting division, and this is a very important fight. For the division, and we'll see what happens after that. But don't miss Brandon Figueroa versus Mark Magsayo on Showtime. All right, guys. Well, it's time to talk about the current events in boxing. All right, guys. Well, looking at the current events, we get news that Amanda Serrano is injured, so the rematch with Katie Taylor has been postponed. They're saying that she is her hand is injured from since 2021. And it looks like she's going to have that looked after. But yeah, kind of disappointing because we were looking forward to this fight in May. I was even thinking, maybe it was the cut that she suffered against the fight with Cruz, right? What are your guys' initial thoughts on that, man?
Oh, you know what? Like you said, I was looking forward to seeing her fight again. But I mean, you know what? If she needs to take a little time to heal up, because she gets in there and bangs with anybody she gets in there with. So, she takes a little toll on it. So if she wants to take a little time off to kind of get back to where when she can go into the ring, she's 100%. You know what I mean? That's what she needs.
Yeah, well said. Good. It's good it's a good thing. I mean, she's going to go into once the fight is rescheduled, there's not gonna be no excuses, I guess. Yeah, is what I'm trying to say, right? Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree because I want them both healthy, dude. It sucks when you hear the aftermath of the fight. Oh, I was injured or I was sick, and this and that, and it's like, you know what? Women don't really complain. So if she has an injury, it's got to be an injury, dude.
Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, and I want them to go in there, healthy as much as they can be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well said, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. All right. Another news, guys. We have the WBO ordering Terrence Crawford, who is the welterweight WBO champion, to defend his title against Alexis Rocha. Well, this comes news as we knew that Terrence Crawford was talking with Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, and them. And Alexis Rocha is a Golden Boy fighter, right? Yeah. So this is no surprise. What do you think, Chaz?
Oh, you know what? Good for Rocha.
Yeah, right.
And excellent job from Golden Boy to kind of make this deal happen. Yeah. It's probably not the fight that we wanted to see or the fans wanted to see Crawford put on, but you know what? It's boxing. It is what it is. And I will tune in to kind of see where it goes.
Yeah, right. And Rocha's been wanting this. So like Bad Chat said, congratulations to Rocha. How do you see that fight playing out, man? Does Rocha have a shot?
You know what I like,
Everybody
Rocha? Everybody has a shot, but man, Crawford it's just another payday for Crawford, another stepping stool, and I'm thinking Crawford wants to go after Ortiz because, man, as much as I want to see Spence Crawford, man, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, man. And if it does happen, it's going to be like Pacquiao Mayweather type of thing.
An exhibition when they're like 70.
Right. All right, guys. In other news, sources say that Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez have agreed on a June 10th clash in New York City. Mm-hmm. Does that surprise you, excite you? Neighborhood
both, man. I was surprised and I'm excited. You know what I mean? And I think it's good for Teofimo. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna bring him some desire.
Maybe might bring out the best of him.
Yeah, he has Taylor has those 3 belts still, you know what I mean? And I was totally against Taylor when I seen the way he acted with Ramirez. But after Ramirez and Taylor fight, I got to meet Josh Taylor, and man, he was a cool cat. I've never seen anybody that happy. After that win with Ramirez, man, like he was just so happy, just embraced everybody around him. And I just thought, man, I hated you. But now, dude, it's like, I love you, dude. Like,
Right.
you know, he just came up to me and my wife, gave us a hug, and I had a Jose Ramirez hat, Jose Ramirez shirt, and he just said, thank you for being against me and thank you for coming, but I love you guys, you know, and I thought that was really cool because, you know, I just didn't see that side of him. I just saw like, you know, he was just, you know, wanted blood, you know, he would do anything to win, and he was just a dirty fighter, but man, he just showed me a lot of love and just gratitude, and I respected that.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez coming off a win, but he didn't look too good. Could this be the fight where he actually puts it together and looks more like his old self, like say the Teofimo that came in against Lomachenko?
Oh, it's a good question. Teofimo is full of a lot of doubt, you know what I mean, based on his last statement in that last fight. But you know what I mean? I think that he's more than capable of doing it, you know what I mean? He just needs to use some of his resources. And I think that it's nice to see Taylor kind of come back into the ring as well, you know what I mean? We kind of haven't really heard from him. And I think that it's kind of a decent matchup.
It is.
Yeah, styles make fights, man. And this could be a good one, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and Josh Taylor has a lot of ring rust, man, and he gained a lot of weight. And Teofimo, it's that mental thing that's playing a game on him right now too. So very interesting, man.
Yeah, very interesting matchup. Bro. Well said, guys.
What do you think?
I think it's a very interesting matchup. Like I concur with you guys. I think, like you said, on the one side you have the inactivity of Josh Taylor, and then on this side you have the doubt, like Batchaz said, of Teofimo Lopez. But I think both knowing the magnitude of the fight, they both come in at their best, and it's going to give us one hell of a fight. Yeah. So hopefully that goes through June 10th in New York City, man. We'll see. All right, guys. And then in the last set of news as well, Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is signed, sealed, delivered for April 22nd in Las Vegas. Finally, guys, we get one of the matchups that we've been collaborating for. What do you think, Batchaz?
Oh, you know what, man? It's just one of those fights that every day, until it happens, I'm just going to sit there and wonder and like look at what each fighter has to offer.
Right. Hopefully
you know
nobody gets injured or anything crazy, right?
It's pretty cool. Gervonta Tank Davis, he went down to Brick House and did a little work and stuff. You know what I mean, in Southern California. So. He's doing some things, to prepare for this fight. He's taking it serious. I hope that, he can kind of stay focused in the ring. You know what I mean? There's been a little distraction on some of his previous fights where he's not really completely locked in, and he's kind of wondering what's going on in the stadium. But I hope that with this fight, he's locked in, and I hope that, he does his best. And I think it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, 100%. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, I believe this fight has the potential to break pay-per-view records, man. Like I said earlier in other episodes when we discussed this fight, these guys have the notoriety and like a Jake Paul, right? They have millions and millions of followers on their on social media, but they also have the boxing talent. You know, the high level IQ of boxing. So they got the best of both worlds. Yeah. So like I said, man, this is a potential to be a superstar mega fight. What do you think, man?
You know what? I love both fighters, man.
Yeah, me too, man.
And I constantly go back and forth, man. Like one day I'm like, okay, Garcia's gonna, upset Tank, because I think Tank's a favorite. Yeah. And then I'll go back and I'll rewatch Tank and I'll look at Tank's, just what he's done. And I'm like, oh, dude, it's going to be hard for Ryan, and just going back and forth. And man, dude, it's just got me thinking. And man, I can't wait, dude. And this is a fight, for the ages, dude. They're going to put on a show, dude. And both fighters are at their prime. It's not even for a title.
That's the main thing, in their prime. Yep.
Yeah, dude. And I can't wait, dude. And I can't even call it, dude. And I probably will try to call it like 3 or 4 times from now. Right. But it's hard to say,
This
man.
is as 50-50 as it gets, right?
Exactly.
Like we put a poll up on our Instagram, and I believe like 60 or so percent lean towards Ryan Garcia, but that may be like a popularity type of vote thing. But yeah, it was still that the poll was close to. So yeah, people are divided, and it's just gonna be one hell of a fight, man.
And one thing that you got me thinking, man, and it was like another thing that like got thrown at me is Tank's down in Hollywood, dude, and he's sparring a lot of guys that Ryan's, had some looks at. And it's like, is he picking their brain? Is he like trying to figure out Ryan's style and what Ryan could do right, what he can do wrong? And you don't see Ryan going over there and trying to like, and I'm sure Tank has, you know, sparring partners in Vegas, and it's just, man, dude, it's just a lot of what ifs, you know what I mean? And then, it's exciting.
Yeah. Big super fight. So it goes down April 22nd, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. All right, guys. Well, that concludes our podcast. Good podcast, man. It's nice. Always nice chopping it up with you guys. Anybody you want to shout out?
You know what? I'd just like to give a shout out to the House of Boxing, to Carlos and Juan. You know what I mean? Just the way that they treated us when we went down there was just top notch. And I just want to say thank you. And hopefully we can cross paths again one day, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios.
Yeah, I want to thank Augie and Bad Boy Visuals, man. They're always showing us love. You know, they're our brothers from San Antonio, and these guys are around the who's who of boxing, and it's just great, you know, to chop it up with these guys and get to know these guys. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah,
100%, man. With that said, guys, thank you to sound guy Rob, cameraman Liam. Thank you for all your help. Thank you guys, our viewers. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and it'll help the channel out. With that said, I am Coach D, co-host Bad Chaz, and neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, and we're out, guys.